Social Justice Goblin, welcome to the Breakfast Nook. So, yesterday was a heavy hitter of a topic. I'm sorry about that, but, I got to show my collection, so I figured I'd start with the first one on the wall, and that was the first one, which was a heavy hitter. The next one is also a heavy hitter. It's Weird War #1. As you can see, it has nice Nazi iconography, including a swastika on the guy's arm attacking American troops. Yes. We have, in the 70s, it was still acceptable to publish books with Nazi iconography on it. Modern sensibilities now, you wouldn't do that. I would hope not, and watch people start pointing out evidence of it existing. But the Nazi menace was real in comic book history, and it was portrayed vividly in comic book history, and it's a history that we have to ask another question of. Is it a history worth talking about how the Nazis were portrayed in comics? Because they were not portrayed favorably in comics. No. They were portrayed as the butchers they were, unless you're talking about Luftwaffe 1942, which you gotta wonder about Antarctica Press and some of the weird choices they made. But and that's the thing. Do we censor a Nazi iconography, or do we embrace it and allow it as part of art and show the horrible butcherness which the comics did? Because the one that really strikes me is not just this one, because this one, the Nazi is a villain in the story always, but is Blitzkrieg #1, which has very clear, it's written from the perspective of the enemy, and it's vitriol anti-German language, and portray them as the butchers they are. I mean, one of the greatest works of comic book fiction, non-fiction actually, is Maus. One of the greatest works of comic bookdom ever. I mean, it won a Pulitzer Prize, special award. And it talks about World War II, and that's the thing. We need to have more discussions about the World War II era of comics, because that gets back to the negative Japanese stereotypes that were portrayed in World War II comics. And that we have to have conversations about this. Is it okay to collect stuff like this? Even though I love Weird War, and this is why I collect it, I'm kind of hesitant to say I should collect this. But then I'm like, but then there are other seminal works that have Nazi iconography on them, like Adolf from Osamu Tezuka. Any Tezuka's works are amazing works that need to be read. Maybe not one of his most prominent works, or I Shot Adolf Hitler. My God, I can't think of the guy's name, but it was an absurdist tale, but it had a Nazi flag in the background. These are the questions we need to ask. Is it okay? Is it all right? Do we, we have a lot, as you study these old comics, it leaves a lot of puzzling questions. And trust me, they won't be as dark and morose as the next video set will be, but cool. Weird War #1, I always wanted it, got it, bought it, saw it, got it, bought it, still haven't read it.